For all those who appreciate the work that we're doing here on Standing for Truth, please hit that subscribe button because we are just getting started. Were Neanderthals human beings made in the image of God? Or are they evidence for human evolution? What does the evidence tell us? It turns out that Neanderthals are fully human. And this has been confirmed by modern scientific data. We will get into some of that evidence shortly. Firstly, though, if you went back 100 years, you would see a drastic difference in how Neanderthals were interpreted. Evolutionists at the time asserted Neanderthals were some half ape, half man, brutish type creature. And yet now we know they were highly intelligent and highly sophisticated. We know they were highly inventive with a diverse diet. Neanderthals had boats and exhibited purposeful navigation. What animal other than humans make boats and navigate the open seas? This, of course, requires high levels of intelligence. They even got to some of the islands in the Mediterranean that were never connected to the mainland. We know they buried their dead, had music. They were into cosmetics. They painted in caves. They had the capabilities to control fire. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They were clearly human beings made in the image of God. And worst of all, for the evolutionist, we have their genes. We interbred with them. We also know that Neanderthals have the same FOXP2 gene that gives modern humans the ability to speak. Genetics is the best way to determine ancestry. And the genetic evidence tells us that Neanderthals interbred with the direct ancestors of modern people. Looking to the biological species concept, then we are by definition the same species. Now it appears that people outside of Africa carry 3 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. We literally have their genes. In light of all this data, how could anybody claim Neanderthals were not fully human and related to our first couple, Adam and Eve? There are some militant critics of biblical creation and the biblical model of ancestry that do reject the clear facts by using an argument that goes like this. They will say, Neanderthals exhibit a different set of biodiversity compared to Homo sapiens. And when we characterize and quantify those differences, this ends up putting Neanderthals as a sister group, as compared to the same species as Homo sapiens. To represent the argument as accurately as possible, the argument insists that it is not about the quantity of differences. Neanderthals and Homo sapiens are 99.7% similar, but it is about the specific differences. When we look at specific genetic markers found in Neanderthals that are not found in any Homo sapiens, we can also look at genetic markers that are in Homo sapiens that are not found in Neanderthals. This indicates that Neanderthals and Homo sapiens belong to separate clades that share a common ancestor according to the evolutionary model. So the question is, why were Neanderthals different? Well, first of all, they experienced different environmental conditions. They had a different history, and they were also literally the most inbred population we have ever seen. When you look at their runs of homozygosity, you quickly realize that they have extremely high levels of homozygosity. They have these massive stretches of identical letters in their genomes, which means there was a ton of inbreeding, and this is population-wide. Neanderthals changed over time. The classic Neanderthals we think of today were highly inbred with a very high genetic load, and they were 40% less fit than modern humans today. They were on the verge of extinction. They were extremely well adapted as well to their cold environmental conditions. Why are they different? This is obvious. Neanderthals would have started off different. being an early branch of man, early man would have been more diverse. The evidence suggests that they picked up a ton of mutations over time for a number of plausible and empirical reasons. They were also probably founded by an early patriarch in his old age. Man would have lived longer in the pre-flood world and the immediate post-flood world, and so Neanderthals would have started off with a gigantic number of new mutations and already possessed a different set of biodiversity.